Top 10 most dangerous hiking trails in the Appalachian Mountains. In the 10th place, McAfee Knob in Virginia draws more than 50,000 visitors each year, all lured by its iconic overhanging rock ledge and sweeping Blue Ridge views. But behind the photogenic backdrop lies a dangerous reality. The summit's exposed cliff drops hundreds of feet with no guardrail, and the constant flow of hikers, many focused on capturing the perfect social media shot, creates crowd pressure right at the edge. Since 2016, rescue teams have responded to dozens of emergencies here, including over 38 rescues in a single year and multiple serious falls. Even in 2024, 12 more hikers needed help after slips or missteps. The risk isn't just the height, it's the distraction and congestion that come with viral fame. Staying at least 5 feet from the lip and skipping the summit in wet conditions can mean the difference between a memorable hike and a life-threatening accident. Number 9. Blood Mountain in Georgia turns a moderate hike into a weather gauntlet with little warning. The 4.6-mile loop climbs 1,361 feet to a summit where sun can give way to roaring thunder in minutes. Rangers have logged 7 thunderstorm rescues here between 2019 and 2022, and a 67-year-old hiker remains missing after vanishing near the peak. Afternoon storms build fast over the bare ridge, leaving hikers exposed to lightning and sudden drops in temperature with nowhere to hide. Underestimating these shifts leads to disorientation, hypothermia, or worse. Even with a relatively low fatality count, the frequency of rapid firestorms and the number of rescues make Blood Mountain a crucible for anyone caught unprepared. 8th place belongs to Pennsylvania's infamous stretch, known as the Trap, better recognized by hikers as Rock Sylvania. Here, the Appalachian Trail transforms into a relentless gauntlet of jagged boulders and loose scree, forcing hikers into a constant Class 3 scramble. Every footstep demands attention. One bad move can mean a twisted ankle or worse. Over the past several seasons, local guide logs and medical reports have recorded dozens of stress fractures and countless sprains, with injury rates far higher than in smoother segments. The pain is cumulative, not sudden, a slow grind that breaks even experienced hikers. The terrain's brutality gained notoriety after a 2015 viral video showed just how merciless the rock fields can be, earning this section a reputation as the trail's silent punisher. Unlike sheer cliffs or storm-blasted ridges, Rock Sylvania wears people down with every mile, turning a scenic walk into a test of endurance and grit. Number 7. Franconia Ridge in New Hampshire delivers a test of nerve and endurance unlike any other stretch in the White Mountains. Here, the Appalachian Trail clings to a fully exposed alpine spine, offering no shelter from the elements. The 8-mile loop climbs nearly 4,000 feet, but it's the wind that defines the danger. Gusts regularly top 60 miles per hour, with NOAA recording a staggering 71 miles per hour blast in January 2022. On either side, the ridge drops away for 700 feet, one slip, and there's nothing but air between you and the talus below. Helicopter rescues are not uncommon when hikers lose balance or get pinned by sudden storms. Even in summer, a blue sky morning can turn to a howling sub-zero gale in minutes. With no trees to break the force, every step becomes a battle against the wind, and a misjudged forecast can mean a life-threatening ordeal above the clouds. Number 6. Kinsman Ridge Trail in New Hampshire is where the Appalachian Trail vanishes into a world of fog and confusion. More than 3 miles from the nearest road, hikers here face a 2-mile stretch, known locally as the Fog Drive, where thick clouds roll over the ridge and erase the trail in every direction. In 2021, a search and rescue team spent 8 hours tracking down 2 lost hikers who had wandered off course in the mist. A helicopter hovered overhead for 45 minutes, waiting for a break in the cloud cover to lower a rescue winch. GPS units often fail in these conditions, leaving even seasoned hikers disoriented. The lesson is clear. On Kinsman, technology is no substitute for old-school map and compass skills. Carrying redundant navigation tools and practicing handrail navigation can mean the difference between a long, eerie night on the ridge and a safe return to the trailhead. Number 5. Wildcat Ridge Trail in New Hampshire is where the Appalachian Trail turns into a high-stakes scramble. The route demands hands-on climbing across rough ledges, with sections rated Class 3 and vertical drops reaching 30 feet. Even the most experienced hikers find their nerves tested, especially in late spring, when lingering ice turns rock faces into slick, unforgiving slides. In 2020, a single slip triggered a 12-hour, multi-agency rescue involving Vermont State Police, the U.S. Forest Service, and civilian volunteers. 2 helicopter sorties were needed just to extract an injured hiker pinned by icy conditions. The Wildcat Scramble isn't just a name, it's a warning. Here, a misplaced step or a moment's overconfidence can mean a sudden fall or a long, cold wait for help. Insulated, high-traction boots and a micro rope for self-arrest aren't optional, they're survival gear. Number 4. Mount Washington in New Hampshire stands as the deadliest weather machine on the entire Appalachian spine. This peak holds the world record for the fastest surface wind ever measured, 231 miles per hour, clocked in April 1934. The mountain's reputation is built on extremes. Temperatures can plunge from a balmy 70 degrees to -20 in a single day, and wind chills routinely hit -50. Over 150 hikers have lost their lives here, many caught off guard by storms that materialize in minutes. 3 iconic disasters: Winter Storm Alpha in 1999, the icefall of 2005, and Blizzard Michelle in 2018, each ended in tragedy despite heroic helicopter rescues, which on average take 2 hours to reach stranded hikers. On Mount Washington, the weather isn't just a backdrop, it's the main threat. And even the best preparation can be undone by a sudden microburst or whiteout. The mountain decides who makes it home. Coming to the top 3, the 100-mile wilderness in Maine stands as the most isolating stretch on the Appalachian Trail. For 12 miles at its heart, there isn't a single road, no quick exit, and absolutely no cell coverage. Once you step into this corridor, every decision carries extra weight. Rescue teams can take hours to reach you, if they can reach you at all. In 2020, a hiker suffering chest pains near Sydney Tappan campsite triggered a full-scale response. 2 ground teams advanced from opposite ends, and a Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife helicopter was called in for evacuation. Here, even a minor injury or sudden illness quickly escalates into a crisis. Over 40% of hikers who are rescued in this region rely on personal locator beacons, the only way to signal for help. Early season snow lingers into June, and rapid snowmelt can turn streams into icy, fast-moving hazards. With resupply points more than 30 miles apart, running out of food or water is a real threat. The silence of the deep forest is both breathtaking and unnerving. Psychological strain sets in as the miles tick by, and the reality of isolation becomes impossible to ignore. In the 100-mile wilderness, remoteness magnifies every risk, and self-sufficiency isn't just a virtue, it's the only way out. In second place, Mahoosuc Notch in Maine delivers the Appalachian Trail's most notorious mile, a claustrophobic boulder maze, where every step is a calculated risk. Hikers call it the hardest mile, and for good reason. The route forces constant hand-over-hand climbing, squeezing through narrow rock tunnels, and hoisting over massive shifting blocks. Even in late spring, pockets of ice linger beneath the stones, turning already slick surfaces into hidden traps. The average traverse takes 45 minutes, but fatigue sets in fast, and the physical toll is relentless. State search and rescue logs record at least 15 ankle sprains in recent seasons, and in 2022, a slip wedged a hiker so tightly between boulders that a technical rope rescue was needed to extract them. This Class 3 scramble demands full concentration. A single misstep can mean a sudden fall or a limb pinned between rocks. Many hikers, eager to save time, skip planned rest stops, only to find themselves exhausted and error-prone halfway through. Mahoosuc Notch doesn't just test strength, it punishes overconfidence, ratcheting up the tension before the final challenge that waits at trail's end. And finally, in first place, Mount Katahdin's Knife Edge in Maine stands as the Appalachian Trail's ultimate test, a razor-thin ridge where beauty and danger become inseparable. The knife edge narrows to just 3 feet wide, with sheer 2,000-foot drops plunging away on both sides. Gusts routinely blast across the ridge at over 50 miles per hour, and wind chill can plummet to 40 below zero. It's a place where footing is everything, and a single slip can mean catastrophe. Between 1974 and 2021, more than 60 hikers lost their lives on Katahdin, the highest fatality count of any trail segment in the Appalachians. In 2021, a solo hiker slipped in the mist, tumbling 15 feet and waiting 6 hours for a rescue helicopter, delayed by the mountain's notorious cell-dead zones and the treacherous approach. The knife edge demands teamwork. Experts warn that solo attempts multiply the risk. Even seasoned hikers, lured by the summit's panoramic views, find themselves humbled by the exposure and the relentless wind. Here, every step is a commitment, every decision magnified by the consequences. On Katahdin, there's no margin for error. One final climb, one final test, and only those who respect its dangers ever stand at the summit. Across all 10 of these Appalachian gauntlets, one pattern stands out. The line between breathtaking and life-threatening is razor-thin. These trails prove that natural beauty and real peril often walk side by side. For every hiker, respect, not bravado, is the only safe companion. Which trail would you dare to face?